Joe's in Saugus. Hey, Joe.
Hi. 2 quick points, guys. Jake Browning, the backup quarterback for Cincinnati, is only under contract for $775,000 through this past year. And the other point I wanted to make is that Mayo, the Patriots, knowing Mayo was going to be the head coach when Vrabel was, at his ceremony, was he open to stepping back maybe and being the defensive coordinator? But I really like Jake Browning from Cincinnati, and he'd be a good bridge if we could pick up the LSU quarterback there. And
all right, well, Jake Browning is an exclusive rights guy, which means he's most likely going to be back in Cincinnati next year as Joe Burrow's backup.
That's usually how that works for those ERFAs.
Yes. So he is probably not going anywhere. He's probably going to be in Cincinnati again next year. So that's problematic.
Would you be willing to trade a pick for him if he ends up signing and then you trade for him maybe in the offseason? I might be.
I'd trade a 4 for him. Yeah.
Ooh, that's way higher than I thought.
I don't know, 5.
I go lower. But I liked what he was, but I think he's in that same class of guys, Brissett, Minshew, et cetera, et cetera.
He's got higher end.
Caller before mentioned Baker Mayfield. He's been awesome. I think he's re-signing with Tampa Bay.
Problem is
That's all I could think of.
See his stats?
And he's going to be expensive.
How do they not?
Comparable to Brady. He's going up,
that
baby.
graphic was amazing.
I mean, you've already got a year with the guy, and he's given you a great year, and you just won a playoff game post Tom Brady, something the Patriots still haven't done 4 years later. They do it within 5 minutes down there, and you can't let him walk now. You got to keep him at all costs.
No.
Make him your guy.
They got to sign him. Like,
Yep,
I saw
and
that
they
graphic, and I was like, ooh. Then you're like, ooh.
It's nice to think about. It's nice to think about for Patriots. What if you sign Baker Mayfield and draft Marvin Harrison? Now we're off and running.
Yeah.
He's not going to be available.
Bingo.
Imagine that. The loser franchise that is the Tampa Bay Bucks win with Brady, have 3 good years with Brady, and they're winning playoff games already without him.
And you used the 2nd-round pick on Kyle Trask. Drafted supposedly the next guy.
Quote, unquote, going through it. That's how Bill Belichick described the Bucks and the Rams. After all the spending that they had done, when he was asked about spending, they're going through it right now because of all the spending they've done.
Yeah, they played this weekend.
They both went to the postseason.
Want to get one more in before we go to headlines. Hey, Paul, in April, go ahead.
Hey, guys, just a couple questions. What are your thoughts on the reports of Mayo interviewing the former BC defensive coordinator? Looks like he runs an aggressive 4-2-5, which probably fits our personnel. And what would that mean to Belichick's sons?
It's a good question. It's San Francisco background, Cincinnati background, former BC coordinator from 2000 to 2020 to 2022. So local guy, probably got to know him from being here. I know Gerard used to go to BC pro days, and they used to go to spring ball. A lot of the coaches did. I think Steve went too. So there's an obvious relationship there. Phil, you got anything more?
Yes, worked under Greg Schiano at 2 different locations, both Rutgers and Tampa Bay. Steve Belichick, also a Greg Schiano guy, right? So this could be a case where, hey, we interview you for DC, and we're thinking about you in that role, but you also, as was the case last year offensively, they interview Adrian Clem for the offensive coordinator job, right? End up hiring as offensive line coach.
Yep.
So do you end up interviewing Lukabu for DC and then maybe in the process attracting him to New England to work as your outside linebackers coach or linebackers coach, et cetera? Maybe that's a bump for him. Maybe it's a promotion for him in his eyes. It's a place he wants to be. Maybe he likes Mayo. He likes Belichick if Steve Belichick's going to be here. And that's how you end up filling out your staff.
What are the odds you think of both boys staying? Belichick's.
I think they're pretty good.
Really?
I'm not ruling
That's
it out.
good.
I'm not ruling it out. I think both would like to be here. I think, and I don't know how they view this, though. I think there's a real argument to be made that it's best for their careers to stay.
Plus young children. It's tough moving kids. I know, even though you got a ton of money and you will live wherever you put them in whatever private school you want, but it's hard moving families.
And your dad's trying to fill out a staff, so maybe that ends up being the ultimate factor for them, and they want to follow him. But I think it might benefit them to get out from under a shadow.